let's do this. One of the things that I have loved probably forever, um, where wargaming, battle, battle top or whatever the term is, the tabletop game, um, a Warhammer 40K, Forge, all these things, battle, whatever. There's a million different games out there that use miniatures that you have to paint up, and you paint them up, and you basically pit them against somebody else. You make which one was an army list, and you basically battle, and it's. I've always been attracted to where 40K is concerned. The one faction, the Orcs. I have tried other factions. I've mixed in factions with the Orc armies and stuff like that. But for the most part, I've only played Orcs. I have not really deviated from that since the late 80s, early 90s. So pretty much from the moment that this game became a game, and was played in tournaments and at conventions and things like that, I was always pretty much playing Orcs. The reason I like the Orcs, one, they're hysterical. Um, they make absolutely no sense, which even now, I don't think I make very much sense either. So, we're kind of like there's kind of a I have a kinship with the Orcs, and my army. And even after I stopped playing for years, I stopped playing for almost a decade. I still keep my army. I still love them. And it's I kind of like miss doing things with them. We're not going to play a game today. That's why this is not playing with myself. This is why this is playing with Orcs. And this is not even going. I'm not even going to get into the rules. I might get into rules and things like that. If I do another, in the next edition of this. I there's a game style called Gorka Morka, which I have basically taken those rules. I've taken all the things that I liked from 8th edition. I know that Warhammer 40K is now on 9th edition, which I haven't even begun to delve into, and I know it has a lot more magic and powers and things like that, which you'll see the magic and power of the orc during the army creation. One of the big things that I do when deciding, 30 years ago, each of these guys, every single one of them had a name. I don't, nope, I didn't even put it on the base. I named every single figure that I have has a name, or had a name, I should say. They don't anymore. I've long since lost the list and who's who, and they're not marked. Their bases, you can see that some have different bases. Some are painted green, some are the flat black, which means that this base probably got changed at some point. The army has been kind of like meshed together and built up and everything like that. These characters that you see that I'm throwing out there are actually the original figures that Rogue Trader. I don't know if I don't know even remember if it was Games Workshop, because I never even called it Games Workshop, the company that owns Warhammer 40K. I never even called it Games Workshop ever until probably the late '90s, early 2000s. So and even then, I still called it Rogue Trader, because that's what it always really seemed to me. It always felt like the orcs belonged to me or belonged to the players, instead of to the company. And the company was just basically making suggestions on how to create them and how to make them, because that's the hobby part of the game playing. You make these things however you want to make them. And everything was metal. These are all metal figures. They're all metal figures, they're not plastic. This is plastic. But the figures and pretty much everything around them were all made out of a pewter, and a die, or they called it die cast. It really wasn't really a die cast. It was a low temp metal that they poured into it, and a pewter mix. And I actually prefer the metal figures over the plastic ones. So I'm not in the, and I don't like the resin casted ones either. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about is like how do you make an army? And like I was just saying about how these guys don't have any names anymore, we're going to basically assign some names out. Now one of the things I do, and all of my metal figures tend to be a little bit smaller. Tend to be a little bit smaller than the actual the newer figures. I can probably bring one out. Yeah, these were your regular boys when it began, and basically that's pretty much all they had was just boys. Every now and again they'd make a bigger model, and I think I have a few bigger models, on what they considered a bigger model in here. Like him, he kind of stands above the rest. I don't know if you can see how much. But he tends to be a little bit bigger than the other ones, so he usually became the knob. And knobs were like kind of like bosses. For the game, for those that don't know, but you get into where the boys are now. This is a plastic one, and you can see that he is ginormous compared to the original ones. The boys have gotten so much bigger over the years, and I think it's good. It's always good to have, the orcs do get larger. They do get larger fighting. I just don't know why they pretty much have abandoned the idea of having youths. The youth character was actually a really awesome way, especially when you played Gorka Morka. A youth was one of the ones that you started out with. Pretty much all your characters were youths. They usually made you start with a knob, and a knob would be about this size. He is almost that size. You can see that he actually is crouching a bit, and even the old knob didn't crouch very much. They were pretty much just standard, 28 millimeter, and now they're, I think it's 2 inches, and now they're getting into 3 inches, and they go even, orcs get even larger. I can grab somebody else. this would be what's known as an HQ model, and he's even, he even puts him to shame, and he actually towers above the rest of them. So what I'm doing with this, and this is how I do army creation. And I'm using my old list that I had when 8th edition came out, that I had to create. And like I said, I didn't even mark anybody with new names and stuff like that. But I just basically give everybody a name. Here you can see the list, and it's several pages of names. One of the things about these names, I have close to 1,000 orcs in the collection. You can't see, but behind it, I have an entire filing cabinet that's basically just filled with orcs, and I keep them in containers like this. Oop, let me put that. I keep them all in containers like this, and there's just tons of them. So keeping them organized, I can. I could just keep putting more and more of these guys out. Now these guys, I'm going to consider them all youths. Unlike boys, for people who are doing a Gorkamorka army, or want to get into this and want to make an army out of their characters, they're going to realize that the youths are probably the most predominant of all of them. Like I said, I could just literally keep putting them. I have buckets more of these guys. Youths tend to be inexperienced. They tend, in Gorkamorka, I believe that they have to get to it's either a 5 or 10th level in the game, and that just basically means 5 upgrades. And most of the upgrades happen to the stats. And their stats can be aiming, their stats can be their toughness, their strength, their movement, and even how many hits they can take. A youth cannot have 2 health. So if a youth ever goes to 2 health, what it is that until they make it to, I'll look it up. I don't even have the sheet with me. But I'm going to even go even further with it. And basically just make it 10 upgrades. 10 upgrades. I'm not gonna get any. This is probably a good place to start, and we're literally just gonna name them. Now the naming list that I'm using now, I usually pick something that is completely off kilter. Doesn't really, I could use street names from cities that I've lived in. You could use. Actually, I'm saying I could use. You can use your favorite planets. You could use anything to name characters. And names should be like the most simplest thing. So, what I'm naming these guys is after invasive plant species. Orcs tend to be a fungus, and because of that fungus, I'm considering them a plant species, and they're very invasive. So we're literally just going to go down this thing. I like to have nicknames. I like to have first names and last names. I give them the whole deal, like as if they have an entire backstory behind them. And like I said, this is very easy because I just I just made this. Now, when an orc actually does, you're playing an orc and he does die, and more orcs spring from them, they actually take the first name. The first name becomes their last name. They then get a new first name, and so every one of them will have that last name. So anybody with the same last name means that they come from the same orc. These guys all have different last names, but I could easily make these guys all the same last name. I do have some that have the similar last names, depending on where we're doing that. But and the nickname could be anything. The nickname is usually what I go by because that's usually what people will associate with it. So we'll just start off. We'll just start off with like this. Boom. This is going to be Prosperous Screwbean Strumble. This is going to be MX, Three-Corner Jack Australis. This is going to be Mistrophy, Two-Toe, in an Ida Trophy. This is going to be Ratabola, Itchy, Cochin Tininius. This is going to be Salix Rusty, Ophiophoria. This is going to be Flagrant Bloodshot Alunus. This is going to be Herculeum, Hogweed, Mactadinagassi, and you'll see that I'm using the actual nicknames that I'm giving these guys. The nicknames that I'm giving these guys is the actual common name for the invasive species. So this is Eurus, Spermwing Atlantis, and I can get this mixed up, so I'm not going to even go. This is going to be Soladium, Nightshade, Tempersia. Let's grab him. This is going to be Cynthia, Shadow Noise, Rosicrum, and I'm going to mark that right off like that. These are the ones that I'm going to use. I'm going to put all these guys away. Now, if an orc is fighting, any orc, especially if it's a leader or something like that, they tend to lose limbs. It is going to be a 10-sided dice. I don't have my 10-sided dice with me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What do I do? I should have been a little more prepared. I am sorry. I'll probably be a little more prepared next time. It doesn't matter. So basically, an orc loses an arm and leaves it, does not pick it up. Orc loses a head. Orc loses, a orc just dies. You'll be rolling to find out how many spawns come from that. And not, youths aren't the only ones that spawn from it. It's everything's, what it spawns originally is snotlings. And they're tiny. And snotlings can become two things. Snotlings can become, and it could be thousands of snotlings. You can really get up into the high numbers. But they become two things. They become what's known as Gretchen or youths. I think I have some Gretchen around here somewhere. Yeah. Now, unlike the orcs, The Gretchen are pretty cowardly. They actually will flee at a moment's notice. They do not like to, they're not really vengeful, and they're not really war bent. And they're basically that aspect of the orc that died. They also don't spawn more orcs. The squigs also don't spawn more orcs either. That's the third type of creature that comes out of it. But youths, on the other hand, squigs can become, snotlings can become squigs, which is known as Gretchen or grots, and they can become youths. Once they become youths, that's where I'm going to start off with. I'm going to pretend like we've gone through the whole snotling thing, because I don't really feel like getting out all the snotling stuff, but we will figure that out. And let's just say, what do we got? 3, 6, 9, 10. So shadow noise doesn't count. If a youth gets killed, a youth can spawn, I believe it's only up to 10. It's just basically a 10-sided dice roll, and that's how many snotlings he'll produce. When you get up into the basically the stratosphere of it. Now, the one thing that a lot of people think about, they think that orcs age normally. Orcs do not age normally. Orcs do not eat normally. Orcs will definitely consume everything in sight. Orcs do actually physically eat food, but orcs do not sustain themselves. Orcs sustain themselves by war, or just by fighting. That's the reason why they're always constantly fighting. They're constantly fighting amongst each other, and they're constantly fighting with anything that comes their way. All leaders basically want to lead their group or their wog they all want to lead them into more battles. It's constant battling. It's never stopped. Any stopping of battling is only to get bigger and better booming things for fighting. It's the only thing they care about. They actually they can go months, years. They can go their entire lives without actually physically eating anything and still become huge. And what it is they literally just the more they attack, the more basically adrenaline gets put through their body. They're kind of photosynthesize like plants, and that gives them all the nutrients and everything like that they want it. And if they don't believe that, then that's not how they do it. They just do it. That was one of the things I want to talk about with the magic. The magic of the orcs. The magic of the orcs is really incredible. They could take, when I was a kid, I used to play guns and stuff like that in army. We used to run around with sticks. Now, that same stick in the hands of an orc, if he actually believes it's a gun, it can fire and will fire. The only way that it will misfire or not fire is if he doesn't believe it. And that's where they can run out of ammo, if they just because they doubt they have enough ammo at some point. If they think things through, things tend to go awry. They're pretty cool in that respect. So let's just get these guys going. All youths want to either be the leader or follow a leader. Once they follow a leader, like for example, if he follows him, he's going to follow him no matter what. The bigger batter, a bigger batter orc can't come in and say, I defeated you, you follow me. No, he'll still follow him. He follows whoever he's going to follow. So it's pretty much like a life contract. The only time that life contract ends, of course it's a life contract, is if he dies. If he dies, he's free. He's not following him. If he dies before he dies type of deal going on, he might come to, and then he might have to knock him out again. it gets kind of crazy in that respect. In what I'm creating, death is definitely a way, the way that these guys go. They might not live past youth. They might not live past boy. They might not live past knob. But if they do, all they will do, the more they attack, the more levels they gain, the more experience they have, the more rolls, and the stronger that they will get, the stronger that they will be. You could have the biggest, baddest orc, if he's following even a weaker, if a weaker orc defeated him when he was a youth, he's going to follow him no matter what, as long as that orc stays alive. So let's get into this. It's very simple. So we're going to pretend that none of these guys are following somebody. So basically what they're doing is they're coming together to see each other, and you can have a bias. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you come up with the way you build your army and how you come up with this. You know that if you're going to take this army with these names and stuff like that in a tournament, you're going to have to follow whatever the new rules are or the old rules of those tournaments to fit them into the when you build the army. But you might tend to go, oh, I like this guy or I like this guy. And since right now, currently, there's no youths in 40K, you might have youths, but you say, I like this youth, so I'm going to take him to there. And that's great. If you're thinking about joining me with doing a Gorka Morka campaign, this is how we're going to do it. And if you need... because obviously we're not going to be, if you don't have orc figures or anything like that, don't worry. I'm going to provide them. They're going to be right here on this board. So this is how we're going to start. It doesn't necessarily have to be 10 guys coming together. They don't even have to be in a circle. It can just be this. You can roll a die and say this is how many people are fighting each other. And basically it goes to winning. I don't care who goes first, so we're just going to start right on down the list, and we're just going to say he goes first. So we're going to start... Nope. We're going to start with him. 3 base movement. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They're fighting 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So basically, they have no penalties, no nothing. So basically, a straight hit, which is a 4, 4 or better, will hit them. They can either move or they can attack. If they, the way that's set up right now is that you have to, your movement phase happens first, then shooting phase, and then gets into the close combat. I actually don't like that, because like for example, one of the things that could happen is he can get into close combat with him, and so now he loses his movement phase and everything like that. But if he gets into close combat with him, he's ready to fight him. If you're fighting somebody else, for example, if he moved into combat with him and he decides to move into combat with him, he doesn't have the ability to fight him because he's fighting him. It's a little pet peeve of mine, and it's something that will come up when you're faced off. But we're gonna do this. I don't even have my ruler with me, so we're gonna say 3 inches. 3 inches, 3 inches. He can go anywhere he wants. He's actually going to go into combat with him. And he's going to personally attack him. He's got what's known as a chopper. A chopper gives him a +1, so basically he's got a 2 strength. And like I said, straight ones across the board. He's got nothing else other than that. So he's going to do this, and he's going to do A straight 2s means he needs a 5 or better to hit. He fails to hit, he only has 1 attack. I believe the choppers actually give you a second attack, so we're just going to run the second attack like that. Boom. And I rolled a 3. So he does nothing. He doesn't attack people in the back because that's not his way. And he's already engaged, so he's not going to worry about him. So he's going to literally just attack him. Some of these people will shoot if they want to. If you are engaged in combat and you want to shoot, you can fire at point blank range no matter what the weapon. The weapon might hurt you and might hurt allies. But he hits. He hits. The defense is the same thing. It's basically a 4 or better. He hits. Yeah, and he's got a save. So basically, it's the same save, same type of save. He's got to roll a 4 or better to save against this hit. If he's hit, if he takes it because he only has 1 health, he's incapacitated. It goes that quickly. He does not save, so he is incapacitated. He can't do anything else. He's done. And it's a move or shoot. And you can do an extra additional run, especially if you're fleeing, but we're not going to get into because orcs don't flee. But you can do an extra run, but after that you can't attack. So it almost doesn't really help unless you're literally trying to cover a huge amount of distance. He's going to attack back because he doesn't like getting hit. And this is Itchy. Itchy's going to attack back. Itchy doesn't do anything. That's it. No, 1 attack. Let's say he's got a chopper too, so let's give him 2. He actually does hit. And he doesn't save, so he's out. So Screwbean is out. A three corner jack took out 2 toes. Itchy just took out Screwbean. So this is we know who he's going to follow no matter what. This is a defeat. This is the defeat. If Screwbean lives, Screwbean's going to follow Itchy forever. Two toe is going to follow 3 corner. Rusty, I believe this is Rusty. Rusty's going to actually, because he sees an opportunity, Rusty's not going to shoot. Rusty's going to attack. He's got a chopper, so it's 2 hits. That is a 1. It's a failure. I have a whole big thing about any type of failure. He could hit himself. He's literally got it. Not roll a 1 again. He did not. His second hit is another 1. Just not gonna have to roll a 1 again. Nope. He's okay. He can't attack back. That's it. That's the end of the story. Now, shooting is a little bit. I just want to show shooting real quick. Shooting, he's going to shoot into this group because there's 2 people here, and this is how it works. He needs a 5 or a 6. He needs a 5 or a 6 to hit him. Anything other than a 5 or a 6, there's a chance to hit him, and then we roll a 5 or a 6. We have to get a 5 or a 6 again. So basically, it works like this. He rolls a 4. Now it's on him. This is the shot. And he rolled a 1, and 1 could hurt him. If he rolls a 1 again, it blows up in his face. He doesn't. He needed that 5 though earlier. So that's basically how shooting goes. It's very simple. Miss, miss, miss. Nothing else happens. Where are we? We're at Hogweed. Hogweed is going to actually, he sees that he's shot, but he's going to try to take out him. And one attack, nope. Second attack, does hit. These usually, I have a spectacular hit thing, but they don't have any spectacular things. There's no specials on their weapons, so there's nothing that happens special that if they roll a 6. Sometimes it's a second attack. Sometimes it could be extra damage. All that wonderful stuff. These guys only have 1 hit point, so it doesn't, 1 health point, so it doesn't even matter if there's more damage. He fails to save, so he is out. So, Burnt Wing is with Hogweed right now. So yeah, when you're doing up a character sheet, you can always just write down underneath or around, they follow this person. Doesn't matter what the clan is. Doesn't matter who the leader of the clan is. Leaders are basically stripped of their position anyways all the time. New people become headquarters, all that stuff. I guess I'm shooting. He's going to shoot him just to kind of end this round. And this is Nightshade shooting Shadow Noise. He hits. He does not save. He is out. So he's with Nightshade now. Now, since we're trying to figure out who's going to be our leader, everybody that's done a hit gets 1 experience point. I think it's it actually goes up incrementally. I think to get to 2nd level, I think it is 10 experience points. To get to 3rd level, it goes up. It basically is double that, so it's 20 experience points. And to get to 4th level, it is 40 experience points. So you see that, like, oh yeah, these guys can easily get, easily get their thing down. So yeah, so Screw being attacked. So you just basically just mark down how many attacks they did. Screw being attacked didn't do anything. Itchy definitely attacked. 3-corner attacked. Two-toe did not attack, so you're not going to give him any experience points at all. Yeah, Itchy definitely attacked. Rusty definitely attacked. Yeah, Rusty definitely attacked. Bloodshot failed to hit, but he did attack. Hogweed definitely attacked. Did not attack. Nightshade definitely attacked. They literally you just get 1 experience point every time. Every time you attack, you get 1 experience point. And if you don't attack and you're out, you don't get anything. For this next round, no more experience points for these guys. And then we get to find out whether they live or die. This round, we're just going to stick with what we were doing. He's out. 3-corner Jack is actually going to shoot into this group because, it actually gives you a better chance to hit somebody when you shoot into groups. So he's going to shoot. He actually hits. He is hitting two-toe. No, not two-toe. He is hitting Itchy. No, this is Itchy. No, this is Itchy. Itchy. He's actually hitting Itchy. He hits. Itchy needs a 4 or better. Save. Itchy saves. Done. 3-corner did an attack. he gets an experience point. Two-toe is out. We're just going to mark him out. Itchy gets to attack. Itchy's going to basically just stay engaged with Rusty. So Itchy's going to basically attack him with the chopper, and he's going to definitely hit. He's going to save. He saves. Second hit. He goes a 1. Let's see if he knocks himself out. Just you can't roll 1. So yeah, that saves. So Itchy definitely gets 2 experience points for that. So you don't get an experience point for taking out somebody and having him your follower. You don't get experience points for that, but you definitely get experience points for every attack that you do, and what you attack. It also kind of matters too, because that gives you a bonus on whether that level goes up. 4, he needs a 5 or a 6 to hit, so nope. He does it. He does a 5. He's going to save. He doesn't save. That's catastrophic failure. So we're just going to take Itchy out of the running. And Itchy now follows Rusty. Bloodshot. Bloodshot's going to actually, I don't know, that's probably 3 inches, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's call it 3. Bloodshot's actually going to get engaged with him because he wants the 2 attacks. And he's going to attack 1. Nope. Nope. Does nothing. Who we got? Bloodshot. Bloodshot did not. You have to have. Yeah, your failures is still an attack, so he was able to attack. Hogweed. Hogweed's going to have to shoot because I think he's 3 inches away from everybody. Shooting negates your movement. If you're going to shoot, you shoot. You can't shoot and run. So he's going to shoot, and he's going to, because of this thing, we like when there's more than one together. So he's going to shoot here, and he definitely hits with his first shot. He's going to try to save. He needs a 4 or better. He does not save. He is out. Hogweed's going to shoot again. Hogweed, it's Rusty. Hogweed's going to shoot again at. Oh, we're shooting. Only 1 shot. So down. He's down. And last but not least is Nightshade. Nightshade is actually going to engage with him. Boom. Just to get the 2 attacks. He rolls a 1. If he rolls a 1 again, he knocks himself out. He did not. Second attack, he rolls a 5. He's got to save. You got to get a 4 or better. He rolls a 6. He's fine. Nightshade definitely gets another experience point. In this next one, Hogweed definitely sees himself in moral jeopardy. But 3 Corner is going to actually attack Nightshade. And he's going to do the usual thing. Oh, he hits. Nightshade's going to save. Nightshade does not save. Nightshade is out. And 3 Corner. Bloodshot. Bloodshot actually thinks that he will probably get taken out by Hogweed because he just saw him shoot them, so he's going to shoot Hogweed. So Bloodshot goes. There's 1 shot. Who rolls a 1? Let's see if it's catastrophic failure. It is not. Hogweed is still in a little bit of a pickle. He can't move if he's going to shoot, so he's going to definitely shoot, and he is going to shoot 3 Corner. Oh, rolls a 1. Rolls a 2. Yeah, he's done. That is the end of this turn. We've marked everybody down, where what levels they're at and stuff like that. Boom, boom, boom. These guys are out. So this is the contest between these three. Again, now it's just going to become a shooting contest because they can't get engaged into their 3-inch movement. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Will not let them engage. So they're literally just going to start taking pop shots at each other. He was shot by Hogweed, so he's going to shoot. Everybody's going to shoot at Hogweed. So, and then Hogweed's going to pick one of the two. 2 missed. He's going to shoot at Hogweed. 4 miss. Hogweed is going to shoot at the 3 corner again. He's still on that. Need a 5. We're going to continue this on, until somebody makes a hit. 1. Let's see if 3 corner goes down. 3 corner does not go down. Bloodshot. Another 1 does not go down. Hogweed. He's going to shoot at 3 corner. 3 ones in a row. That's the 5 I need. There's no reason. Hogweed, because he's getting attacked by 2. He has no reason to move. One of these 2 could actually start to try to get to get engaged with them. It also would risk the person who's still shooting to get that extra shot. So they're literally going to do a standoff and do this for basically forever. So Hogweed's going to shoot. He's going to shoot Hogweed. Like I said, everybody's shooting Hogweed. That is a hit. Hogweed needs a 4 or better. And Hogweed rolls a 1. So Hogweed is out. 3 corner on Hogweed. Bloodshot is going to shoot. Another 1. Saved. They're just gonna shoot it off. Yeah, look at that. He's got a save. He saves. He's gonna shoot him back. He shoots him back. This could be the decider. 3. He is out. Bloodshot is the de facto leader. They all made attacks. So that's one of the hard things that in 3 corner. Even misses count as an experience point. Nobody actually leveled, so even though he's the de facto knob, he is still a youth. He's not even a boy yet. And once he gets to level 1, once he goes from everybody's level 1. The only people who are level 0 would be the snotlings, and like I said, it doesn't take much for them to become a youth or whatever they're going to become. Now, the 9 others. Now, this is where it gets kind of funky. 6, 7. This is where it gets kind of funky when you're dealing with these things. It's the reverse. So basically you don't want to roll a 6 now. So we're going to basically just start with Screwbean. He rolled a 1. He is more than fine. He rolled a 6. He is dead. Rolled a 3. 4, 6, 3, 5, 1's fine, 5 is fine. So now you have 2 dead. And as I was saying, the only people that are following Bloodshot, um, the only people following Bloodshot is Three Corner. So basically, Three Corner, who has pretty much the monopoly on most of them, of the stronger ones, because he's the stronger one. That's how that works. That's not Three Corner. Oh, that's Three Corner. Because Three Corner has the monopoly. Oh, Three Corner died. So even though he's the de facto, he literally has to do this again because Three Corner just died. That's how crazy this is going to get. I'm going to be bringing up charts and rules and everything else, but this can get, oh my god, this can get so insane real quickly. He should be the de facto leader of them all, but because Three Corner died, these guys now follow whoever they're following, except for anybody following Three Corner, which is Two Toe. Two Toe died too. So, Nightshade. Nightshade had the hood. Where's the guy with the hood? No. The guy with the... This is Bloodshot. So where was... This has got to be Nightshade. Nightshade is free. He does nobody to follow. And Hogweed. So these two, yeah. See, Three Corner had three people under him. Basically, they would have probably, if he became a warlord, they would easily become his knobs. These guys are now free to do whatever they want. They're dead. They're going to create, let's just do this. We're going to create 5 and 3, so 8 more. We're going to create 8 more. 8 more orcs. Actually, it would create, even though I'm only using a 6-sided die, it could create up to 20 snotlings, and out of the snotlings, then you get into only a few of them, half of them would become this. So out of the 8, let's just say it creates 4 more orcs. Four more orcs, and 3 of them go with Three Corner. So these are Australias, and only one of them made it from Two Toe. So he's an entropy. Actually, no, he is a Maestrophy, and these guys are all Three Corner. These are all MX. And it literally gets into that craziness. And then you start calling them Felodron, Curapina, and Lipituk Sands. So this is a Sprangletop. This is Firebringa. And this is Cork. And Cork MX, Felodron MX, Curapina, just like this sounds really, really crazy to do it this way. And so everybody gets their name. This is Maestrophy, and this, and this is Aratina Maestrophy, and he's going to be known as Bitter Flame. They enter into this whole thing. MX, and MX. These guys enter into this whole thing, and there could be a time when there's not that many boys that come out of it, and if you're creating a lot of, you could end up creating a lot of squigs and a lot of Gretchen. So this basically, these guys are going to now fight again. They're going to be a little less spread out because they're watching this all happen. Screwbean is all the way over here, and I'm just going to continue on from here. So 3-corner is dead. 3-corner Jack, and 2-toe is dead. You see, I started out with 10 and now I'm with this. And like I said, when we're getting into the bigger armies, you're going to probably end up needing like several lists. But who they follow gets to be kind of important in this whole thing. Right now, even though he is kind of the de facto leader, he would be considered the warlord. He's not. Actually, he probably would be able to go first. But I'm going to just basically just follow it like right on down the road. So yeah, Itchy is, Two-Toe is done. Itchy's following Rusty. Hogweed's following nobody. And Nightshade's following nobody. Now, like people who follow Hogweed. So we get into Hogweed. He's got Rusty following him, so he can actually say Rusty. We're going to attack the same person. And also Burntwing is also, I believe this is Burntwing. So these guys actually have their own little mob going on right now. Nightshade is right here. He's following Itchy. And Itchy is following Rusty. And Itchy is following Rusty. And Rusty is following Hogweed. Rusty's following Hogweed. So like literally it's that chain. Boom, 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 boom. Hogweed actually says he's the leader. Now these guys don't fight amongst themselves. They are going to follow whatever Hogweed says. Actually, he'll follow whatever he says, but if he says follow whatever Hogweed says, he says follow whatever Hogweed says. And that's how that works. So even though Hogweed was taken out relatively early, with only one that actually makes no sense, but that's what we have. Rusty and Burntwing both follow Hogweed. No, he got 2 hits, which makes no sense because I have didn't write that. I'm going to do this. Like I said, I'm going to do this again. You're going to see it where it's absolute chaos. I'm going to have a better setup. But I just want to give you guys an idea of how this is going to happen. It is definitely turns into chaos relatively quickly. Once I'll get the experience points, so we know what the experience points of these guys are going to be, and each of them is going to have their own little character sheet. I might even do the Snotling build. If I have somebody that wants to do Gorka Morga with me, I will definitely welcome you. All right. I'm going to try to do these things live. I know this is not live, but we're going to try to do them on Sundays, because Sunday seems to be a really good day to be doing this. And yeah, I'll always play, and we're going to always play. And cool beans.